How will Joe Biden's election as U.S. president affect the Afghan peace process, which was pushed by his predecessor, current President Donald Trump? Analysts say Biden will largely stay on the course set by the outgoing president, but will hold the Taliban accountable for violence. They say the real difference will be in implementation, with some Afghans expressing hope Biden will give fewer concessions to the Taliban, which has been engaged in peace talks with the Afghan leadership in the Qatari capital Doha. On Monday, Afghanistan's second vice president, Sarwar Danish, called on the incoming Biden administration to review the peace process and apply more pressure on the Taliban, which signed an agreement with the U.S. to reduce violence. Such moves can give more leverage to the Afghan government negotiators at the inter-Afghan peace talks in Doha, that has struggled to set off since its launch in September. A Biden government is much more likely to listen to concerns of allies, including those in Kabul, and its own national security establishment, and adjust its policy of drawdown and disengagement to ensure continued stability as much as possible, Andrew Watkins, senior analyst on Afghanistan at the International Crisis Group, told Al Jazeera. Sultan Barakat, director of the Center for Conflict and Humanitarian Studies at the Doha Institute, also echoed Watkins's point of view, saying logistical decisions on reducing U.S. troops will continue and could end the United States' 20 years of war, its longest one. Biden may follow the strategy of explaining more detail the reality on the ground to the Afghans and to the Americans, he said. He will also be pressuring more on good regional relationships with countries surrounding Afghanistan. He has to keep them on board. The Taliban has been accused of carrying out deadly attacks on government forces while holding talks in Doha. The Afghan armed group says it has not flouted the February deal with the U.S., as the Afghan government was not party to it. On Tuesday, the Taliban urged Biden to implement the February agreement that calls for a complete withdrawal of U.S. troops by May 2021. The Islamic Emirate would like to stress to the new American president-elect and future administration that implementation of the agreement is the most reasonable and effective tool for ending the conflict between both our countries, the armed group said in a statement, its first comment on the results of the U.S. presidential election. The February agreement envisioned phased withdrawal of U.S. forces in exchange for the Taliban pledging not to allow Afghan soil to be used against the U.S. and its allies. Thousands of U.S. troops have already been pulled out as part of the deal. Afghan analyst Maisam Waidi said it is unlikely for Biden to reject the U.S. Taliban deal, as his priorities would be to solve more urgent domestic issues rather than getting into a disagreement with the Taliban.